everybody. Welcome to Nerds in the Dark. I'm Mikey.
Theo. Nice to meet you.
Theo. Welcome. And today we're going to talk about Superman, our nerd table discussion. Kindness is punk rock. Now, this movie was really an interesting take on Superman to me. Not interesting in a bad way, but interesting that it was definitely a refreshing take because of how much we've had like gritty DC over the years. So tell me a little bit about how you felt about this movie.
It felt closer to how I view the cartoons of like Superman than like all live action. Like even like I guess would say like the CW versions of Superman / Clark Kent. It's like they're solid, but like this version of Superman, it was very much like cartoon Superman.
Yeah.
And I liked it. And it was like he was fun and he was like kind.
Right. And I think one of the biggest things for, and I think it's interesting because I had heard that some test audiences didn't like it, but one of the most interesting things for me was the scene where he saves the squirrel. And I think that's a really good like indicator for me of like how much I knew that Superman was going in the right direction. Because it's not about, it's not about that you have to be right, that you have to save everyone, but it's that you have to try and you have to care. And that's what this Superman does. Now,
like I realize.
Oh, I think I lost you.
Yeah, that's what
you froze a bit.
This is bullshit. God damn it.
Hey, who ain't pay that Comcast? What's going on over there?
Hey, my character don't got a job. Like this bum is mooching off fucking living free just because she's adorable. She ain't pay no bills. See, this is why they do.
Hey, pay rent.
Lately, put some money on the Comcast. Put some money on the Comcast.
Okay, so that being said, right, I think this is a movie where the primary, a couple primary things that are really prevalent is that Lex is a hater.
Yes.
He is a hater. I realized watching this movie that I don't hate enough.
Yeah, I understand my game up.
Yeah, like clearly when it comes to my hating and my pettiness, like, oh, hey, Staros, have a great podcast. All right. Thank you for the lurk, Staros. I think so. One of the best things for me, right, is that he not just like hates, but he hates to the level of like, I'm going to pay 10,000 monkeys to tweet hashtag super shit. Right. Like that is crazy. It was a great like hater in Lex. I think that was really cool. Like we got to talk about my man's getting his flowers finally.
Which man's? Oh, yes.
Yeah. Mr. Terrific. Okay. Not only has it been so long since Mr. Terrific was treated with like real respect, because he had some like stuff in Arrowverse, but like it wasn't like really amazing.
No.
So actually getting some good, representation of him was amazing. But also like this actor. I mean, I'm sure you remember him getting just boned as Darwin.
It's like I didn't know about Darwin before the fucking movie, but then I'm pretty sure it's you and somebody else explained like his power is basically he can never die. It's like, but I'm on the if that's his power, that's some bullshit. That like y'all set him up for failure like that, like
exactly like the guy whose power is cannot die was murdered. Excuse me. Like that's his whole thing. Right. So it was pretty bad. And I think, this was a good thing for this actor, like being, hurt in superhero movies, can rub you the wrong way, can turn you off superhero movies in general. Right. do you think of like how long Ryan Reynolds was out of superhero movies after getting screwed over not only once but twice, right? Getting a bad Deadpool role and getting the bad Green Lantern, right?
Yeah.
And it took forever. It had to be that the footage leaked of a test in order for Deadpool to actually get moved forward, right? So when you have this actor, come through and have the only non-killable character be killed, it's a bad taste. So getting his flowers as Mr. And that scene was amazing. It was a great scene. Just the fight on the beach. He walks up like nobody can tell him anything, and then proves they can't. He goes in and he's just got that smooth walk, that swagger, and he's ignoring everybody. He's doing his little thing with his fingers, and he's like, "There's a path to Superman." He's like, "Well, now I know I'm in the right place." And they're like, he's one of those justice guys, and like, yeah, but he's a smart one.
It's not reminiscent to Hela from from Thor.
Yeah.
But like slightly better because there was no like accidental like, oh, you stabbed me, it didn't affect me. It's just like it just still just walked through people. And it's like, oh yeah, y'all really can't touch me. I already know what you're gonna do.
Yeah. It was really good. The music was great. And I saw somebody theorize that the music was put inside of the dome to help calm Lois down.
Oh, yes.
I thought that was great. It was just like, he was like, you know what? White people might like this.
It's like, well, like, hey, this is a very anxious moment.
Yeah.
Like music this calms the soul.
So it was, I mean, honestly, it was a pretty cool thing. So I'm happy to, see Mr. Terrific or goddamn Mr. Terrific get his flowers. I was happy to see a trio blue hater in Lex, and ultimately like the kindness in Clark. I think. Oh, how did you feel about Alan Tudyk?
Wait, who's fuck's Alan Tudyk again?
The robot.
Oh yes. Honestly, okay. I thought I selected a little more from the robots, but
yeah,
there's still a solid addition.
Yeah.
Once again, I was thinking from the cartoons. I don't know about the comics with the robots, but like the cartoons, I feel like they're a little more.
Yeah, so there's definitely something to be said about like, oh, like is this the Superbots, right? And like what can they do? And they all kind of like go down. I like it. I do like it more when they're more like custodial, right?
Yeah.
Because I like a thing that really works for me in this is that like if you have a team that's designed to fight Superman, right?
Yeah.
They should be able to hold their own against Superbots. Superbots shouldn't clean them up.
Yeah.
Right. And so I think that was a good, like indicator there. I didn't like that like the engineer did that weird like backflip thing.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, she did this to save no time at all. Like it actually took longer than just turning around.
Yeah, because like that character, like I am a fan of theatrics.
Yeah,
like I do like when I do my jiu-jitsu competitions. Some moves I just do just because I like it because they're flashy. But like that character was not a flashy person, and so it's like where they're doing flashy moves when everything about them says, "I'm all about business and efficiency."
Yeah. It was not really like a good look. Let's see here. I do like that they went with a different type of messaging for Jor-El.
Oh yes,
that recorded video. I think that was very cool. I think having it be something that he, continuously like watched these videos of his parents and it helped calm him. And he was like, well, this is the thing. They sent me here to do good and be good. And he's just like, this is what resonates. I don't know. And then have it be turned on its head. I think that is an amazing, I think that's an amazing, I think it's an amazing trick because then you do go into like nature versus nurture.
Yes.
Right.
I also look forward to like that going into that more in the universe because what the fuck, whoever the villain is from Krypton, I can't remember his name. Like whenever like the bad guys come from that other planet, it's gonna make them make a little more sense.
Yeah,
why they do what the fuck they do.
Right.
And I was like, okay. Yeah, Zod. I knew it was something with a Z. I was like, what the fuck's this dude's name?
Yeah.
But yeah, it was Zod. If Zod ever shows up, it's gonna be like, oh,
so
like
I think I'm actually
an outlier.
He is an outlier. Well, actually, no, he's not, right? Because you have Kara.
Yes.
She was a child when she left. Because that's the distinction between them, right? Is that when he leaves, he's a baby.
Right? Yes.
And when she leaves, she's already a teenager, right? They both were supposed to arrive at the same time, and she gets like lost in a wormhole or something, right? So through some wibbly wobbly, timey wimey stuff, she ends up arriving after he's already been on Earth for something like 30 years, right?
Yeah.
So she's younger than him, even though so she had this like thing of like, I'm supposed to be responsible. I'm supposed to make sure that my little cousin survives. And there's guilt that comes with that too, as Kara enters adulthood, where she thinks like, I was supposed to be the responsible one. I was supposed to be the one to make sure he did right. And she's like, and I failed, like not through faults of her own, but she failed. She didn't raise him. She didn't take care of him. And now she has to play catch up to being that person.
Which is also going to be a thing within this universe now that they explore, because if she was sent like with the same type of messaging that her parents sent, or a Clark's parents sent, which is like, it's your job to rule over humans. And it's like,
and that's only if that messaging is true.
Yes.
Right. Because it could be that it's true, could be that it's not true. Like, it could be that, the footage is doctored, not doctored, whatever. I know that, Mrs. Terrific said that it wasn't doctored, but,
if what is the lie?
Yeah. And then Kara, Kara could have also been, because she's from, I can't remember. She was like she's the only other surviving member, but I think she was like a sister planet, right? Or was it the same girl?
I thought she was the same planet, but like also
a different city.
Like different city.
Okay. So let's see. Where is Kara Zor-El from? She's also from the planet of Krypton. She was born in Kryptonopolis.
Oh.
They really be working on these names here.
Such originality.
Yeah. So it's pretty wild. What's actually one of the coolest things is I really like Power Girl, who is like it's Kara, but not Kara, but it's Kara from like Earth Prime or something like that. No, well, it probably depends on who's writing it, but essentially she came from a different universe, right? Okay. And that different universe was the I typed it. Diana message.
Impossible.
So it was that they were in different universes that were like colliding, and then they have like the Superboy punch or whatever. And so she ends up being out of her world. So she was a Supergirl of her world, and she ends up coming here. There can't be two Supergirls, so she ends up kind of doing her own thing. So it's a very interesting type of dynamic how Power Girl exists because she is technically Supergirl, but not Supergirl.
Gotcha.
Um, so this movie, right, having the experience that they do, where they go in and have this different messaging for the parents of Clark. Then they meet Martha and Martha and Jonathan. I think their intro is very sweet. I think when it talks about, oh, he's a warrior, that kind of stuff was very cute, right? Like,
I like that their both of parents are alive.
Yeah. Didn't kill this man.
Yeah.
Least of all in a preventable way.
Exactly. Like, we don't have some Spider-Man complex of like, ooh, like with great power comes great fucking responsibility type shit. So
yeah, nothing like just such a like big thing, like where it's like, oh, in the ways that he failed, and like having Jonathan can't be killed in a tornado, even though Superman can totally prevent that because, like, of course he could. There's been some really bad choices made previous Superman movies, but this one, I think, having it be that like it's not where you're from, it's not what you were taught, it's what you do. And I think that's such a big like deal. I think that's so core to Superman, and being the ultimate immigrant story, I think is very interesting in today's climate.
Yeah.
Something
else to talk about.
Yeah. Speak on it.
Like, well, it's very interesting that like we have the like that he is an immigrant, and that like fucking Lex Luthor is like one of the fucking things he is very angry about is that he's an immigrant, but he's inspiring people to be better and have hope. But also the little subplot feels like a little not subplot, but like the little wars that are happening feel very much parallel to like some things with like concerning Palestine or the Congo. And I was like, huh.
Yeah. So okay. I watched the movie, and going into it, I heard some of those things of like how people were drawing the parallels to some of the stuff that's happening. And I think that I looked at it, and I think that if you look at anything on like its basis level and say, okay, well, it's a country of people like trying to do a genocide and wipe out another people, like, yeah, that totally fits. I don't know if this necessarily fit like in the theme of like, oh, this is exactly what Israel's doing to Palestine. Like, because people were saying like, oh, it's so heavy, it's so like it's so obvious, and I was like, I don't think it is. I like, obviously you can draw the parallels, but I think that's you drawing them. I don't think James Gunn intentionally did that.
But a little, I get it because of the American involvement in it. Because you can also draw the parallel between Ukraine and Russia.
Yeah.
But like America's involvement specifically, like, oh, well, this is an ally, so we have to fucking get involved. And then that's where the fucking parallel starts getting it. And it's like Superman just like, hey, how about y'all not fight? And it's like, well, it makes us look bad now.
Yeah. And so that becomes a thing where I think it's very like, it's very there's a lot of parallels to things that have happened in prior like American involvement, right? Where it's like yeah, we help these people, whatever, and like they're an ally, and we give them, money or resources and whatever, and like then they turn around and use that money and resources to oppress people, and that has happened time and again in like American history. You know, read anyone who hasn't read Howard Zinn's People's History of the United States, and you're gonna be, I mean, read any Howard Zinn, you're gonna be depressed, right?
Yeah.
But I think I think if you, especially drawing some of those people, if you're the type of person that draws some parallels, you get some catharsis through watching, that ending scene with Hawk Girl.
Oh yeah.
Especially like if you're, I'm not going to sit here and say, that we have certain political leanings.
Yeah.
But I will say, I ain't never shy. I say it.
Look at it.
Free Palestine, motherfucker.
Exactly. Free Canada.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah.
Like, I ain't saying it, but I'm saying it. Like, I think that it's really good that they had somebody who was about that business do it, and not Clark.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it was somebody who was just like, listen, I've lived more lifetimes than you know. I ain't afraid of, like, I'm not Superman. I don't have a code. This mace is spiked.
Do you think the person who's like has like the fucking baseball bat is going to be gentle?
Right.
No.
Right. Speaking of gentle, how'd you feel about like the use of Green Lantern's powers and like just doing like the hands and the middle fingers and all that stuff?
I thought it's very Guy Gardner. It is like, okay. I was like it's kind of a little bit of a dick douchey fucking vibe, but it's like all right, like you're living out, like you're doing him right. I was like,
yeah,
I don't I dislike him, but I like him, and so, which is the point.
And I think that it speaks a lot to the diversity of Green Lantern's powers, right? And that the limitation is your imagination. And that you can see a lot of like what is used in Guy Gardner's like tool set of how when they're fighting the giant monster, he's using like real tools like for restraining the creature, right? And he's like doing stuff to like try and get at the eyes and things like that. Like he's actually like building stuff that fits within that. And then when it comes to just like dealing with the tanks and whatever, he's just like, yep, middle fingers, blah, blah, blah. Like it fits his personality so well. God, I'll tell you, like, one of my, without like going off too far on a tangent, I love Green Lantern, like in general as a power, because a lantern ring's limitation is what you know. Because one of my favorite ones is during the early days of Kyle Rayner, right? You have Mongol comes out, and Mongol's like one of those people who is like a constant rival for Green Lantern. And he's got like yellow powers, and it's not good against the ring and all that stuff. And you have Kyle Rayner, who had just gotten the rings after Hal Jordan went like ape shit, and there's no other Guardians left right now, so no one's teaching him. Mongol comes out and starts fighting him. He's like blocking Mongol's attacks. He's like beating the shit out of him. Like they're fighting, and Superman comes up. He's like, "Oh, let me give you a hand," right? And he's like, "Hey, listen, man, how are you blocking these attacks?" And he's like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "Yellow's supposed to be like bad for the green." He's like, "It is," because this man didn't know that yellow was bad for him. He was just like, "Well, I can block this because I know I can block it. It's all willpower."
Yeah.
So that's where it comes in, like some. So enough with the Green Lantern tangent. I fucking love Green Lantern. But so Hal Jordan was cool. Well, not Hal Jordan. Guy Gardner was cool. Very punchable face. I think that fit well for him. I really enjoyed. I really enjoyed the. I really enjoyed the actress for Hulk. I can't remember her name right now, but she's been in a couple things. Where I recognize her most from is the Instant Family movie with Marky Mark, where they go to adopt a teenage girl and then find out she has like 2 siblings, so they have to adopt all 3 of them together. She's been in other things. She was Dora in Dora the Explorer, the live action.
Ciara Renee.
Yes. Cool tidbit with that is that she actually, in researching this role, she was working with the Justice League voice actress.
Oh, okay.
Which is Maria Canals-Barrera. So, interesting. No, okay.
What's your interest?
So Maria Canals-Barrera is the voice actor for Justice League Hawker, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Sierra worked with her.
Actually, it's Isabella. Sorry, I looked at the wrong name. So it's Isabella Merced is the one from the Superman movie.
Okay, so
Isabel
worked with Maria because Maria is also the voice actress for Dora in the cartoon.
Oh, nice.
So she had already like met her prior, and then like they like worked together. So she was like, oh, like that was where she took her like inspiration. So like that's a cool little tidbit. I don't know, like 2 Latinas playing superhero stuff. I thought that was pretty cool. Let's see. Outside of that, I think those were the big like things in the movie for me. Oh, Jimmy, a player.
Yeah, accidentally. Like, I honestly like the fucking fact that this man is getting baddies, but he thinks that they're just regular motherfuckers.
Yeah,
he's like, oh, she's a 4, and it's like, 4 where, my guy?
The wildest thing in that for me was that it gave off the feeling of like, that TikTok audio was like, lady, I'm trying to get my work done and type shit.
Yeah,
that's how it was. Like he was just like, he's like, stop looking at me. I'm busy, ladies.
Yeah.
Oh God. I think going back a little bit, I want to circle round this up here. The kindness being punk rock, I think is something we can actually take and look at as something that I think we need a little more today, more than ever, right? I think that having, kindness and empathy goes a long way, and it is kindness in and of itself in a world where we need more resistance. Kindness is its own form of resistance.
Yes. It is funny because I guess either before I watched the movie or after I watched the movie, I was watching some video about Salt Lake City punk and how the main dude is a poser, but they're talking about how all the other people in the movie are punk, despite the people would think that they're posers. But it's this dude's saving the environment and trying to studying how to keep the fucking forest alive, and somebody else is doing this other thing.
Yeah,
it's this is what punk rock is. They're using their education to fucking make the world a better place, but they're just not doing this for the image. They just 2 of them just look like regular fucking people, but they're doing all this thing that goes as counterculture,
right?
And and I was it's not all just the idea isn't just to be standing against something. It's for the sake of standing against it. It's doing things that go against the bad of society or whatever.
No, I hear you. I'm with you 100%. I think that like not only is kindness, but like living and experiencing joy is its own form of resistance as well. And I think that that goes hand in hand, like kindness and joy. And you can't you cannot be part of a resistance and only experience the the violence or the I don't want to say like militaristic, but you know that you can't be militant all the time. It is it's the same way that like you know nobody enjoys like I'll say it like you can't be Dr. Umar every day.
Yeah, like if you're Dr. Umar, you fucked up. Every day, if you're that motherfucker every day, you kind of fucked up.
Yeah. And so it's like I can experience counterculture. I can be part of the resistance. I can you know I can work with my community to enact change. But what does that mean if I never take the time to experience joy?
Yeah.
And again, kindness goes a really long way. I think like, I mean, hell, what was it like today, for example, I went to the store, I was picking up some groceries and leaving the store, I get stopped by some Boy Scouts, like not even Boy Scouts, Cub Scouts, like the young ones, right? And they start coming in, and I was like in my own world. Like the kid comes in, he's like, blah, 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 and I was like, I'm sorry, woman, you spoke way too fast. Son. And they're like, oh, we're selling like popcorn and like chips and stuff. Like, did you want to buy any? And I was like, well, you know, how much is it? You know, like whatever. And it was something like highway robbery, right? And it was like $20 for like a bag of chips. And I was like, well, like I won't do that. It was like, but y'all are accepting donations, right? And so I gave them a few bucks, right? Because like it costs me nothing to be, you know, kind and hear them out, right? It cost me a couple bucks, you know, to actually like donate to them, which, you know, I'm not saying that's something that everyone has to do, but you should take the time to, you know, listen to people, especially because like these kids are going to take, you know, whatever experiences they have, you know, standing outside of a store, that's not a thankless job. Like people are going to be rude to you. And, you know, being able to remember that there are some, you know, kind people that will hear them out, that's going to make the difference for them. You know,
it's like, that reminds me of the when you're I think it's Philly, who like just really reduced like the crime rate from like the lowest it's been since like the 70s or 80s. Mm-hmm. And they're like, what did he do? And it's like he just gave people's needs. Yeah. Nothing, like he didn't give more cops. He just like, hey, here's a house, here's some food. And man, crime went down.
That's why I'm like so excited about like candidates like, you know, Norman Donnie.
Yeah.
Because like Mamdani he's not promising the moon. Like he's not some leftist savior, but he is coming out here and saying, hey, we need, you know, to stabilize grocery prices. We need to, you know, like we don't need to freeze rent, but we need to like slow that down. It's like people need to be able to live, and no other candidates being like, look, I understand. You know, they're like, no, they're like, get it together. Like everyone else wants to pull you up by your bootstraps, but your bootstraps weigh significantly more now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there's not a lot of candidates out there that are willing to be like, hey, yeah, I get it. Like stuff's crazy. And even like, God, you're gonna give me a life just right.
Like it's what we do.
Yeah. No, I was thinking of like Hakeem Jeffries and what he did recently, where they came out that Mamdani is in a rent stabilized apartment. And this pointedly so, rent stabilized is not the same as it's not the same as rent control. And so the stuff that's going around is that he's being called out for being a rent control department. And that is it's incendiary, right? Because it's like, how can he talk about like people needing to freeze the rent? He's a rent control department. And Hakeem Jeffries is like, well, I think it's I think it's a very, interesting point. He should answer to that. It's like, well, no, first, it's rent stabilized, not rent controlled. But also, like, what do you mean? Like, are you telling me that anyone who couldn't live in a rent controlled or rent stabilized place, like anyone who could, like, they shouldn't? Like, get out of here. Like, it speaks so much to like how disconnected they are, right?
Yes.
And it's so interesting to me, pivoting back to the movie, how living with kindness and empathy is somehow automatically seen as woke and leftist and socialist. It tells you so much about the current political climate that just by saying like, hey, be nice to people. Whoa. Like, I knew you liberals were like, this is like, what? So you're telling me you're not a nice person?
All I did was like save a squirrel and was like, hey, maybe y'all shouldn't be fighting.
Yeah. It's
radical like concept.
But that's the thing. These ideas are radical, which is again why kindness is punk rock. Kindness is so counterculture because we live in a culture where, caring for others is seen as somehow woke ideology. Like things that should be common sense, like care for the people around you, show empathy for others, help each other out. These used to be conservative ideals. It used to be that you would go to, you'd meet, like rural country folk, and they'd be like, hey, like they don't got a lot. It's not much, but we're honest people. We're good people. Yeah. Right. And where is that now? You say you say that, oh, they're good people, and like, what does that mean? Where is the good? Where is the good? Where's the kindness? Where's the niceness?
Yeah.
It has lost in it, but I'm saying it. Yeah. Okay. This movie, what do you rate it?
I give it a solid 8.
8? Okay, 8's pretty for a Superman movie. 8's pretty good. I will give it. I want to say there's a lot of great moments in this movie. I don't like the movie's final villain, and you can call me crazy for that. I don't know how well that villain works in this movie. It's kind of hard to say because there's a lot of use of technology in this movie that like presupposes that like certain things exist, but also like shouldn't exist. So the cloning technology, along with like pocket dimensions and secret prisons and like everything that Mr. Terrific has, I don't know that those things like coexist in a world that has as many problems as Superman is trying to solve, right? Unless all of them are just like inherently like capitalist in a way that like doesn't work. So is like Mr. Terrific like super capitalist? Right? Because like that technology exists. It's like, should there be, some of the problems that you're running into in this world? I don't know. But, the cloning technology itself says a whole lot because it like answers questions about like disease and, the ways that people die in the world. So it's like, because if you can clone people, you can clone organs. And if you can clone super people, like, why are we even fighting Ubers?
That explains how much of a fucking villain Lex is. So
I guess. And so that's where it comes in one of those things of being like, particularly how Lex is like, how you can't be anti-alien and have your weapon be one too. I don't know if that works. You know what I mean? That's
I feel like that's like it reminds me of Hellboy. I think it's Hellboy because it's like like at the end of the day, like Hellboy can do all the good he wants to do, but in the day, like it's like there's still going to be one more monster left, and so like that's the thing is like he uses them as tools, and so like when they think it was like conservative mindset. They use them as tools, and then at the end of the day, you're just gonna be the next to chopping block when all the other ones are done.
Yeah, I think that's where it ends up being like thing. But like, so his thing is like, can he control this monster? And like to an extent, I'm sure that like he can, right? But it ends up being this like very like bad. Like, how do you say that, like you can clone something and you can't trust something that's been here for 30 years without taking over, and then you like super grow it in a like fucking petri dish and say, okay, well, like Superman has been public for 3 years or 5 years or whatever it was in this movie, has been public for that time. And I found hair follicles and then made a clone and super grew that clone. And even though it's had nothing in the terms of like, what we know about the species, we somehow are able to say that this is inherently better than Superman.
Yeah.
Like that's what doesn't work for me about it, but everything else about the movie I loved.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I called the clone pretty immediately as soon as I see the fortress doors open. I was like, oh, they're doing Ultraman.
Yeah,
I was like, I see now. But other than that, like this movie is, I mean, I'd say it's like 7.5, 8, 7.5, 8. Like I've changed my score. It's solid. It's solid. I think like anybody should watch it. I think that kindness is a valuable lesson to bring in. But yeah, any other final thoughts with this one?
we look forward to watching this movie be explored. I like to see like what happens with like um the other people from Krypton. I like to see what happens with Crypto.
Face the camera, maybe.
My bad.
I was right. Like, yeah. So this is your head's all down. I was like, I see the top of your head as you're talking.
Like I was staring at my cat. I'm sorry. Yes. We look forward to fucking seeing how like the world is explored. So that's what I'm looking like. I need an expansive universe of joy and not hope. And I feel like what's his name? James Gunn is not gonna go doom and gloom on shit.
Yeah, like no, I think that's great.
I don't need everybody to be doom and gloom. Some people need to be doom and gloom, but not everybody. So I want to see fun characters and a little bit of doom and gloom.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I'm excited to see what they do with this. I think I'm probably a little more excited to see what they're doing here than what they're doing in Marvel right now. Although, I'll still probably watch both, but in this case, I'm more excited to see what's coming out of DC.
Yeah.
All right. So with that, I guess this is gonna be it. We'll be doing more videos at some point. And when we do, we'll see you next time.